Have you ever felt like you're living the same day over and over again? You wake up, go through the motions, and before you know it, another week has passed without any real progress. You look around and see other people moving forward, achieving their goals, while you feel completely stuck. If this sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. Today, I'm going to share with you the real reason why most people feel stuck in life. And then I'll give you a ridiculously simple technique called the 5-minute rule that has helped thousands of people break free from this cycle. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why you've been spinning your wheels, and you'll have a practical tool you can start using today to create real momentum in your life. The truth is, feeling stuck isn't a character flaw or a sign that you're not capable. It's actually a predictable psychological pattern that affects almost everyone at some point. The problem isn't that you lack ambition or talent. The problem is that you've been approaching change in a way that's guaranteed to fail. Most people think that big changes require big actions. They believe that to transform their lives, they need to make dramatic, sweeping changes all at once. So they set huge goals, create elaborate plans, and then try to overhaul everything overnight. And what happens? They burn out within a few days or weeks, feel defeated, and end up right back where they started, sometimes even worse off than before. This is what I call the all-or-nothing trap. It's the belief that unless you're making massive changes, you're not making real progress. This mindset is toxic because it sets you up for failure from the very beginning. Your brain is wired to resist dramatic changes because they feel threatening and overwhelming. When you try to change too much too fast, your brain activates its defense mechanisms and pulls you back to your comfort zone.
But here's what successful people know that most others don't. Real transformation happens through tiny, consistent actions, not grand gestures. The most powerful changes in life are usually invisible at first. They're so small that they seem almost insignificant, but they compound over time to create massive results. Think about it this way. If you wanted to climb a mountain, you wouldn't try to leap to the summit in one jump. You take it one step at a time, focusing only on the next foothold. Each step might seem small and unimportant, but together, they get you to the top. The same principle applies to changing your life. This is where the 5-minute rule comes in. It's based on a simple but profound insight. The hardest part of any task isn't doing it, it's starting it. Once you begin, momentum takes over and carries you forward. The 5-minute rule works by making the starting part so easy that your brain can't come up with excuses to avoid it. Here's how it works. Instead of committing to big, intimidating goals, you commit to doing something for just 5 minutes. Want to get in shape? Don't commit to an hour-long workout. Commit to 5 minutes of movement. Want to write a book? Don't set a goal to write a chapter. Commit to writing for 5 minutes. Want to learn a new skill? Don't plan a 2-hour study session. Commit to 5 minutes of practice. The magic of the 5-minute rule isn't just that it makes starting easier. It's that it rewires your brain's relationship with the task. When you consistently show up for just 5 minutes, several powerful things happen. First, you build confidence. Each time you complete your 5 minutes, you prove to yourself that you can follow through on commitments. This builds self-trust, which is the foundation of all personal growth. Second, you create momentum. Newton's first law of motion applies to human behavior too. An object at rest stays at rest, but an object in motion stays in motion. Once you start moving, it becomes much easier to keep going. Many times you'll find that after 5 minutes, you naturally want to continue.
But even if you stop after exactly 5 minutes, you're still winning. You're training your brain to associate the activity with success rather than failure. You're building a habit of showing up consistently, which is far more valuable than sporadic bursts of intense effort. Let me give you some real examples of how this works. Sarah wanted to get back in shape after years of being sedentary. Instead of joining a gym and committing to hour-long workouts that she knew she'd eventually skip, She started with 5 minutes of walking around her block every morning. That's it. After 2 weeks, 5 minutes felt easy, so she extended it to 10 minutes. After a month, she was walking for 20 minutes and actually looking forward to it. 6 months later, she had lost 30 pounds and was running 5K races. Mike wanted to learn Spanish but had failed with expensive courses and apps multiple times. He started with the 5-minute rule, just 5 minutes of Spanish practice every day using a free app. No pressure, no guilt if he missed a day, just 5 minutes when he remembered. After doing this consistently for a month, it became automatic. He gradually increased the time, and within a year, he was having basic conversations in Spanish. Jennifer dreamed of writing a novel but was overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. She applied the 5-minute rule and committed to writing for just 5 minutes every evening after dinner. Some days she wrote only a paragraph. Other days, the 5 minutes turned into an hour because she got caught up in the flow. After 18 months, she had completed her first novel. The key insight here is that these people didn't rely on motivation or willpower. They relied on a system that was designed to work even when they didn't feel like it. The 5-minute rule removes the pressure and makes consistency achievable for anyone, regardless of how busy or unmotivated they might be. Now, I know what you're thinking. 5 minutes seems too small to make a real difference. But that's exactly why it works. Your brain doesn't see 5 minutes as a threat, so it doesn't resist. And here's the surprising truth. 5 minutes a day for a year equals over 30 hours. 30 hours of focused practice can create significant progress in almost any area of life. But the real power of the 5-minute rule goes beyond just the time you spend. It's about identity change. Every time you show up for your 5 minutes, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. If you write for 5 minutes every day, you start to see yourself as a writer. If you exercise for 5 minutes every day, you start to see yourself as someone who's active and healthy. This identity shift is crucial because your actions flow from your identity. People who see themselves as healthy make healthy choices naturally. People who see themselves as learners continuously seek new knowledge. The 5-minute rule helps you gradually shift your identity by providing consistent evidence that you are indeed the type of person who follows through on their commitments. The beauty of this approach is that it's completely customizable to your life. Maybe 5 minutes is too much because you have a newborn baby. Start with 2 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes feels too easy and you want to challenge yourself more? Start with 5 and let it grow naturally. The specific amount of time isn't as important as the consistency and the mindset shift. Another powerful aspect of the 5-minute rule is that it eliminates the perfectionism that stops so many people. When you only commit to 5 minutes, there's no pressure to be perfect or produce amazing results. You can be messy, awkward, or slow. It doesn't matter because you only need to show up for 5 minutes. This removes the fear of failure that keeps people stuck. I've seen this technique work for people in every area of life. Students use it to build study habits. Professionals use it to develop new skills. Parents use it to create quality time with their children. And retirees use it to pursue hobbies they never had time for. The applications are limitless because the principle is universal. Small, consistent actions create big results over. So here's your challenge for this week. Pick one area of your life where you feel stuck. Choose something that you've been wanting to change but haven't been able to make progress on. Now, instead of creating a big, ambitious plan, apply the 5-minute rule. If you want to get in better shape, commit to 5 minutes of movement every day. It could be push-ups, stretching, dancing to your favorite song, or walking around the block. If you want to learn something new, commit to 5 minutes of learning every day. If you want to be more creative, commit to 5 minutes of creative work every day. The key is to make it so easy that you can't say no. Don't worry about whether 5 minutes is enough. Just focus on showing up consistently. Track your progress somehow, whether it's marking an X on a calendar or using a habit tracking app.
This visual feedback will reinforce the positive behavior and help you build momentum. Remember, you're not trying to transform your entire life in 5 minutes. You're trying to prove to yourself that you can make and keep small commitments. You're building the muscle of consistency that will serve you for the rest of your life. You're showing your brain that change doesn't have to be scary or overwhelming. After you've successfully maintained your 5-minute habit for at least 2 weeks, you can gradually increase the time if you want to. But don't feel pressured to do so. Sometimes 5 minutes really is enough. The goal isn't to maximize the time you spend. It's to maximize the consistency and the positive identity change. Many people who start with the 5-minute rule find that it becomes a gateway to larger changes in their lives. Once you prove to yourself that you can change one thing, you start to believe that you can change other things too. Confidence builds on confidence, and success builds on success. The most important thing to remember is that you don't have to wait until tomorrow or next Monday to start. You can begin right now, today. Pick your area of focus, commit to 5 minutes, and take action immediately. Don't overthink it, don't make it complicated, and don't wait for the perfect moment. Perfect moments don't exist, but right now does. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Every day you delay is another day you stay stuck in the same patterns. But every day you show up, even for just 5 minutes, is a day you move closer to the life you really want. The choice is yours, and the power is in your hands. What will you choose to do with your next 5 minutes?